Okay, just heading off to the post office, something I don't do very often. Quite a nice day today, about 30 degrees. Feeling a lot warmer up here though lately. The last week has been quite warm. Yesterday 29, not humid, so it's reasonably comfortable. But I can see it getting to an uncomfortable stage pretty soon, so we'll see how I handle the humidity. But anyway, I'm just going up to the post office, which is a bit of a hike. It's about 10 to 4 in the afternoon, and pick-up time's 4 o'clock. It's for another YouTube accessory for this particular GoPro camera. It has a light at the top of the shell, so it's actually another self-contained shell that I put around the actual unit, and it includes a floodlight that I can do nighttime shooting with. So apparently the power lasts for a couple of hours, or actually 80 minutes. It's quite reasonable if that's the case. It has its own battery and it's an LED light, so we'll see how it goes. Just thought I'd better get that before I head off to Vietnam, get some decent equipment together and be prepared. Yeah, I love that shot out to the hills there down the Mulgrave Highway. It's a really nice view. So one of the things I do like about living around here, you look out there and you don't see suburbia, but you see hills. You also see a shitload of planes coming in and going. It's been very busy. That is pretty typical. Maybe the tourist numbers are up, although people at the pub I was at yesterday, PJ's, were very sceptical. Don't know how I feel about the pub thing either. Getting a little jaded with the whole scene. It's the same people each time. Although Sunshine was there this time as well. So Brett, alternate name Sunshine, don't ask me why. He was there as well as John and Steve when I arrived. And I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid, but getting the impression I'm not sort of not super popular there. It's not like I'm super unpopular, but I just feel as though maybe I'm irritating a few people, but maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe I'm just a bit jaded about going to that bar. It was better last year because there was more of a turnover of new characters walking through. It doesn't seem to be as cosmopolitan this year, so I don't enjoy the experience quite as much. I'd like to mix with some more people, so I might have to get off my arse and look at some other outlets. I mean, if you're not working in a place like this, you've really got to push it to open up those social outlets. I mean, people are friendly here, so I haven't really given them much of a chance. It's probably my thing. It's up to me now to get off my arse and try to get things happening, because I'm getting a little isolated, so that's not healthy psychologically, obviously. So you know, there's nothing wrong with this place. It's up to me to make it work, I think. So we'll have a go at it. Like I said, the pub thing's getting a bit long in the tooth. I had 4 Guinnesses, 4 pints of Guinness last night. Actually paid for it too. I had a shocking night's sleep, but I get a bit of gastro overnight and kept me up quite a few times. So I definitely paid for those drinks. So I've got to be careful my grog intake, which is going to be interesting seeing I'm going to Vietnam, to the bars where I'm notoriously a big drinker there. Have to temper that a bit, I think. You know, as you get older you have to slow down a bit. Even Steve said that. He seems to be pretty well bulletproof when it comes to grog. He got a perfect sort of score back about his liver function and what have you when he had his medical the other day, so he's doing pretty well. But even he's slowing down a little bit, so there you go. They also had all this really tacky sort of pirate type themed, there's a rum sort of promotion taking place. I can't remember the company, so it didn't have much effect on me, did it? Not that I'm a rum drinker, but they're hitting for the young clientele later at night, I guess that's who they're aiming at. But really tacky merchandise, all this plastic sort of little blow up anchor. There was an anchor there and and they had plastic pirates hats that they got the bar staff to wear. It all looked, and it just had little plastic sort of advertising bunting sort of hanging from the edge of the bar, the top of the bar. John even helped them put it up. It's not even his job to do that, but I guess he works for the company, so he felt obliged. I'm glad I don't work there, to be honest with you. So it all looked a bit tacky. Probably just need a change of scene. Could go back to the bowls club, Edge Hill. That'd be a total change, because it's an older age group, very friendly place. At least with new faces. The Guinness is reasonably priced too. You won't get the same young barmaids. That's about the only downside. But apart from that, it's probably worth doing, and get me a bit of exercise going there. If I get on the bike, it's quite a reasonable ride up there. So I'll look at that, but I'll look at some other options as well, some social options. So to get things moving. Other reports I've got on the bloody stock market front. I don't have to bore the tears off you, but geez, I'll tell you what, it's hard to pick that bloody market. It's taken another dive. It's been pretty healthy for the last few months, and but it's corrected itself again, typical. And stocks like Telstra, which I thought are really top stocks to have, especially seeing they've got a buyback, which means it actually strengthens the stock for the current holders of their stock, because there'll be less shareholders, so you'll get better returns as a shareholder once that process has taken place. Well, it's had the opposite effect of what I thought, and the Telstra shares have dropped below $5, really tanked, and they went ex-dividend. They always drop when they go ex-dividend, and ex-dividend stock has really been savage lately, so that's just what's going on. But yeah, I don't know why it's quite that bad, but I tried to get them at the low point, and of course I stuffed it right up because the market just kept dropping. It's a real art form to pick the bottom of a market, I'll tell you. Had a lot of experience, I guess, and a bit of rat cunning, combination of the two, I guess. It's not easy to do. I ended up buying Telstra at about $5.20 and then again at $5.14, which I thought was a good price. But as I said, it's dropped down below $5, down to about $4.90 something. So I'm spewing it in by that price. Picked up some CBA, one lot of CBA at $69.81, which is pretty low. It went lower still. It went down about $69.20, I think. So again, I missed the bottom, but at least this time I got reasonably close to it, and it did reduce the average price I paid for the shares, which gives me the advantage if I want to get out of that holding and not have to necessarily look at even making a trading profit, but just get out even. I can do it at a much lower price now, so that's good. It just gives me more flexibility. So that worked out okay, but all the other stocks I've got, which I thought I bought cheap, they kept dropping. This is just typical. The main thing is, at least I'm trying to reduce the average price of my shares, and that's the game. You've got to keep doing that. You've got to keep manipulating and pushing down that average price. And when you do that, of course, it protects your stock a lot from those fluctuations of going down, because they always do waver the prices. And it also means you get higher returns if they continue to pay dividends, and quality stocks generally do, although I learnt the hard way, Woolworths certainly can slash their dividends in bad times, so nothing's guaranteed on the market. Just that was a valuable lesson I learnt. So yeah, so there's a lot of things to take into account, but as usual with the stock market, you can never underestimate how low the damn thing can drop. I think the only strategy I can think of that can actually help you sort of get a bit of that action is to have smaller purchases of stock, so you can fragment your purchases. I've been doing it in like $10,000 lots, which is about the maximum you can get at a particular brokerage fee. After you go beyond that, you pay a higher brokerage, but the brokerage is bugger all in the scheme of things. If you're looking at a much better share price, that's what you've got to chase. Forget about brokerage, buy them in smaller parcels, be more flexible, and that way I'll be able to get the price, the average price down. So I think I might change my overall strategy that way and buy smaller parcels to do that, because otherwise you need a crystal ball to work out when it's going to be the lowest point. The only way you can sort of cover yourself is just by keeping a bit of ammunition there, in other words cash, and don't blow it all at once on big stock purchases at prices you'll find inflated. I've done it a few times now. I think I'm learning my lesson, and that's a valuable tip I would give any new investor. Don't be afraid to buy smaller lots of shares. That way you don't have to make the decision to buy everything at once. You can wait, because inevitably the bloody price will drop a lot further, and at least that way your average purchase price will drop because you've got a bit more money in the vault for when the market drops even further. That's what I'm going to be doing for the future. Just don't fixate about brokerage fees. They're pretty well irrelevant. It's a very small component of the cost. If you have to pay more, big deal. Unless it gets to a ridiculous extent, you're buying $1,000 worth of shares at a time, and it really gets down to that level, yeah, it would become an issue. But if you're buying, $5,000 lots of shares, I don't think it's going to be an issue, or even $2,000 lots. Do it, because if you think that the market might drop further, you're going to make a lot more money that way than any money you're going to blow onto brokerage.